Hi everyone, this is Kathleen.
And I am Nick, and welcome to this latest episode of About Time. So, for today's topic, we will talk about how to help yourself develop new skills. We wanted to talk about the steps that help both Kathleen and I with the skills that we wanted to acquire before and that we're able to practice until now.
Right, and this is the perfect opportunity for you to use these 5 easy steps. It's because it can work both while you're staying at home or even when you're traveling for work. We decided to create this 5 easy steps because we want to make sure that everyone will be able to follow it, and it's very simple and it worked for the two of us and even with the people that we used to work with. We incorporated it with the things that we know and then merge it with the things that are actually working for other people too. So, are you ready to learn these 5 easy steps, everyone?
I am.
Oh, yeah. There you go. And I know I can hear you guys even though this is a recorded video. So, let's start. What's the first step, Nico?
The first step in helping yourself develop a new skill is, of course, identifying the skill that you want to learn, which means you may have a lot of skills that you've been eyeing to do to help you improve on your personal or professional life. You would want to prioritize which one you think is the one that you want to start now. And also in part of identifying the skill that you want to learn is maybe for me is the easiest and the fastest that you can learn so that you can spend a lot of time for those skills that you think are also beneficial for you.
Right. Excuse me. And because of the quarantine, you have a lot of time where you can develop a lot of skills, but we don't want to overwhelm ourselves when we want to learn something new. So let's say that you want to learn 10 different things. You want to learn, let's say you want to learn how to cook an Italian cuisine, you want to learn a new language, or you want to learn how to draw, how to paint, you want to learn yoga, you want to learn how to exercise, and a lot of variations out there are available. But the thing is, um, you have to also identify what do you want to learn the quickest, or what do you want to learn now, because identifying that would also help you identify if is this going to help me develop myself and improve in terms of my overall life. So after you have identified, so let's say out of the 10 things you want to learn, you've identified, let's say, oh, I want to learn how to paint. So now that you have identified that, then you can focus on that one skill first. We don't want you to overwhelm yourself, because the moment that you are focusing on one thing, it gives you an ample amount of time for you to focus and develop it and learn it and really absorb the learnings and the teachings that you would want to get as you move along the progression, which of course leads to our step number 2, which is commit to actually starting. Now, a lot of times, sorry, I'm moving my fan. I can hear it. So, a lot of times, what do you call this? We want to learn a lot of things, and then we would procrastinate and say, oh, I will start learning. Let's say, oh, I will start exercising by Monday, or I will start to eat healthy food by Monday, and then Monday arrives, and then, oh, I'm too busy. I'm doing a lot of things. Oh, there's no enough food. Oh, I'm too lazy to go out. But because you're procrastinating, you are also conditioning yourself to that you're accepting that it's okay not to start it on that day where you set it, and you would move it to different days. But if you commit to actually starting and tell yourself, okay, this is the day I committed to do it, and I would want to do it because I would want to reach to a certain level and mastering a certain skill that I would want to develop. You can also put it in your calendar, or you can also ask, have like what you call this, a partner, like with Nico. You can set a partner with Nico to remind you on to so that you would be reminded that okay, this is the day that I would start to start develop a new set of skill or habit.
Yeah, I love the idea that you threw right there. The ways on how you can really make yourself commit to start learning whatever that skill that you want to learn. Getting someone who would remind you of doing it on a certain at a certain time in the day so that you can continuously do it. I think that's where it all has to start. When you finally identify the skill that you want to learn, you've got to um, set the right time in a day. And in terms of committing to actually starting, you don't really have to take long hours of your time in a day to be able to start it. You just have to think of when in the day am I available? Am I most available? Then set it there. And it does not have to be a 5 hour session of you trying to learn that skill. It can just be a 30-minute session, a 1 hour session, just so you can manage the time and it wouldn't compromise the other tasks that you have to really do for that day, right? Which leads us to the third step, which is creating a plan, or really strategizing. Now, once you have committed to start learning that skill, you've got to strategize and set your goal. Um, I mean, when you're trying to set a goal, it's better if you have like a timeline or a time frame as to when you'd want to be able to master that skill, or when you would want to start practicing that after you learned so much about it. Creating a plan includes what are the first things that I would want to learn about the skill. What are the second? What are it's like another step, a subcategory in that particular step of creating a plan. How do I want to start? What do I want to do next? How do I want to end this? It's a way for you to be able to manage that time, knowing that we don't want to be spending a lot of time really with it. Then I think it would be helpful for you to not overlap on the time that you set when you're trying to practice that skill.
That's actually a good example when you said that you need to create a timeline for you to be able on, okay, within this period of time, how do I want to progress, or what am I expecting? So in line with that, the perfect example, or an example that I can think of right now is, let's say you are trying to learn a language, or you're trying to learn, let's say, Spanish or any type of language, and you've committed to starting on, let's say Monday, which is today. And then you have to also identify your daily routine. Okay, which time are you busiest? Okay, you have identified that in the morning, that's you are absolutely occupied and you cannot commit to anything during the morning. But you have also identified that you have 2 hours available or free time in the afternoon. The question there, that what Nico is trying to point out, is, would you fully commit that 2 hours to learning the language that you would want to learn? As much as we want to say yes, do commit, we don't want you to do that. Why? It is because you might get overwhelmed, and that would also lead to another type of procrastination, and it will stop you from doing it because it's overwhelming, it's exhausting. So do it in a chunk size. Try to do it, let's say, your end goal would be in 3 months. Your goal is for you to be able to speak fluently in whatever language you want to learn. So let's say in the first week, you were able to do 30 minutes per day, 5 days a week. And you're able to identify that, I can overwhelmed about it, because I think I'm able to actually progress through the level that I want, and adding 30 minutes more to it would actually benefit me in terms of my end goal. So it means that before your end goal, you'll be able to speak fluently the way that you are wanted to the way that you want to achieve your goal. So the reason why we're doing that, or we're telling you to start something small, because again, we don't want you to overwhelm. The minute that you get overwhelmed, the minute that you feel that it's too difficult, it's too hard for you, then that would lead for you to stop. And that's how our brain works. So when it feels like everything is too complicated, it's too tiring, there's a lot of things on your plate, and you're adding too much, too much, too much, then what it's going to do, which one should can I just simply drop? And the first thing that your brain will tell you, this is the latest one, it's not that necessary, so I'll drop it the soonest. So you want to start with something small. Now after that, this would actually lead you to step number 4, which is constant readjustment. Why are we including readjustment or constant readjustment? Just like with your end goal, if you want to reach or if you want to be fluent in speaking another language within 3 months, and you have again identified, going back, the first week when you were doing 30 minutes per day for 5 days a week, you're able to identify, I'm not learning enough, then maybe I can add 30 minutes more. And then on the second week, you're still able to identify that I'm not learning as much as I want to learn. This is the right time for you to actually reassess or readjust your plan. This is the time for you to actually step back and see, okay, what's happening? What's preventing me to learn the things that I want to learn? What are the challenges am I experiencing? Is it really the time that I spend in developing this new set of skills? Or what is it that's preventing me to actually learn this new set of skills? And once you have adjusted it as early as within the first or second week of developing new skills, you would be able to correct the things that you would want to correct. But you shouldn't be too hard on yourself too once you've identified that, because you should commend yourself that you're able to see it as soon as possible and not wait until your end date would reach before you make any changes.
Then it's just more of the readjustment. It's not like changing the plan that you already have. It's just modifying it. If you think something isn't working, then assess what isn't working and try to add additional step maybe, or eliminate some steps that aren't, and then change it by something else to make you want to learn more about it, instead of you thinking that this isn't for me. Because I think a lot of us would feel that if we know that we're struggling at first, even if we've not tried enough, we'd say that maybe this isn't for me. Maybe playing a guitar isn't really for me. Cooking isn't really for me. And I felt that. I wouldn't lie. There are a lot of skills that I wanted to learn, and when I feel like I'm struggling and it's a challenge for me, I'd just say and tell myself, this isn't for me. Maybe I'm good in doing something else and not this, and I would stop. And there would still be those things that are pended that I've still not tried to learn or relearn, but I have plans of doing them. I'm just prioritizing which one I think would be more beneficial for me during this time. And so that's it. I think once you have modified the plan to make it more concrete, to make it bring you closer to whatever that goal that you want for yourself, then you can do the step 5, which is just more of maintaining, practicing, and continue to learn about that skill. So once you've learned so much about that skill, once you try to grasp on how it works, how you can do it, then you can keep practicing, trying to get feedback from people around you who observe you, would also help you become better at it. And it's part of you trying to learn more about that skill, because there are things that you've been doing for the longest time. Let's say for me, the skills that I've learned in terms of related to my professional life, I've been doing that for 2-3 years, but there are still things that you would experience and you would encounter that you've not anticipated before. And because you keep on doing it, you keep on practicing it, you would come to that point that you feel this is something that you've never learned before. And so that's a way for you to try to go back to step 4, maybe, of doing readjustment. It's really a continuous progress for you to be able to master a specific skill. What do you say about that, Kat?
Right. Yeah, it's absolutely right. It's a work in progress. For every skill that you develop, you would want to start as a novice, and then you would want to move to the next level until you are a master of that skill. And once you have a mentor that will actually guide you and give you feedback about the skill that you're trying to develop, that would also enhance your skill and your capabilities for you to want to move to the intermediate, and you want to be at the highest level of whatever skill you would want to learn. And once you have assessed that, you can also what do you call this, understand and see, okay, so now that I have mastered this specific set of skills, what other skills, what actually I want to learn that would work for me,
Absolutely.
help me develop my skills, that could also contribute to my personal development, my professional development, and that would also give benefit to my overall life. And once you've done that, again, you go back to the first step: identify the skill that you want to learn, commit to actually starting, create a plan, constant readjustment, and then maintaining practice. Whatever skill you have learned, whether it's a born talent that you have, if you will practice it, you will reach to a certain level where you will be at your best, and you would want to continuously and sustain that level. You don't want to go down, or you just want to keep moving forward. And that's how we actually help this 5 easy steps for both me and Nico, and even the people that we work with. These are the simplest steps that we can help you with, and we hope that you guys are able to recall the steps that we provided. I'll do a quick recap. The first step is identify the skill that you want to learn. The second step is commit to actually starting. The third step is create a plan or create a strategy. The fourth step is to constant readjustment. And the fifth step is maintaining, practicing, and to continue to learn more about the skill, or look for a new skill that you would want to develop. So this is a, what do you call this? A very educating video for us today. We really didn't touch much of emotion compared to our previous video. So we truly hope that during the new set of quarantines that we guys have here in the Philippines, and to those other viewers and subscribers that are actually continuously subscribing to our channel, we do hope that these easy steps would also help with your daily lives, be it in your during this pandemic. And we are certain that this will also work with or without any this type of situation that we are all in. So before we go, please guys, subscribe to both our YouTube and Facebook account. It says About Time. We will link the, what they call this, the other videos that we previously have on our account. Make sure to subscribe, click the thumbs up or the like button, and click that bell icon and the notification button, so that every time we post our videos, you'll get notification too, which we do upload every Monday. So that's it for me. This is again Kathleen.
And I am Nick, and I just want to tell everyone that in case that you guys need help in learning a skill, we'll be here to be helping you guys out. Not really to practice with you, but more of giving you the idea and maybe give you feedback to what we just observed, and we'll try to work on that together. I also just want to plug quickly the Spotify account that we already have. It's still About Time. If you guys have time, please do follow us on Spotify so that you can listen to our podcasts, which we upload every now and then. But yeah, I think that's all we have today. It's about time to say goodbye and see you again next week.